Good evening, everybody. This is Scott DeCamp with CatchMark SportsNet. This is our CatchMark SportsNet Podcast. This is Season 5, Episode 6. It's Monday, October 16th, 2023. And I'm Scott DeCamp, host of this, and we are joined by captains of Fremont's boys soccer team. Let's rephrase that. Captains for the outright championship, West Michigan Conference Championship outright champs, the Fremont Packers. Let's rephrase that. So we have with us John Vissia. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming in.
Absolutely.
And we have Chaz Miller as well, sitting across from me.
How's it going?
Good. You?
Pretty good.
Good. And we have T. Ward. How's it going, T?
Oh, pretty good.
I'm not sure if these guys saw it, but I was taking a little snooze on the on the couch in the room over there, and they're probably sitting outside waiting for me for about 10 minutes. I'm like, oh my God, it's time to do this podcast. So, had to get caught up on some beauty sleep. So it still didn't work, but I needed some rest. But thanks for making the trip over, and congrats on the great season you guys are having. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
and we'll get to that here in a second. But before we do, we got to thank our sponsors. Let's that'll be Big Stone Therapies, Rescue 2.0 LLC, Grieve Law, Edward Jones, the financial advisor, Brett Atkins, Coldwell Banker, Woodland Schmidt with David Dusenberry, Farm Bureau Insurance, the Kenny Agency, 5-Star Real Estate Leaders with Matt Parker, The Birdhouse, Scheid Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, Green Ridge Realty with Chris Dykem and Sarah Rill, and then, of course, our title sponsor, Chris Wank Real Estate of Coldwell Banker, Woodland Schmidt. If you ever wondered what your house or property could potentially be worth in today's market, just reach out to Chris and his team. They can get you a comparable market analysis put together so you have data to help guide you through the entire process. As a real estate agent, having strong working relationships with local lenders, Chris has the upper hand in being very creative and coming up with the strategic ideas for all situations presented to his team during a professional potential purchase of a house or a vacant land. Chris takes pride in trying to provide the best customer service to his clients and ensuring that there is an open line of communication. He was born and raised here in West Michigan, so he feels blessed to have found his calling, being able to be here locally, helping people buy and sell real estate in the area he was raised. So that was a lot to get out. So back to the Fremont Packers here. Introductions for each guest. If you could kind of just go around the room here, tell me what position or positions you play.
John Vissia. I'm a center back.
And how long you been on the varsity team?
3 years.
And how long you been playing soccer?
A lot longer than that. I've been playing for near 10 years now. It's been a long time.
And I think I know the answer to this, but what got you into it?
My father. Yeah.
Figured so. So what about you, Chaz?
I play center forward, and I've been on varsity for 3 years. I've been playing since I was really little. I don't know the exact age, but ever since it was offered, I've been playing.
And then UT?
So I play center mid. I've been on varsity for 4 years, and I think I started playing soccer when I was 4, and that was because of my dad forced me into it. But I stuck along.
Yeah, good deal. So season, you guys have an outstanding season, 18-1-1 overall, 8-1-1 the West Michigan Conference for the outright title. What are your initial thoughts on this season that you guys have had?
I'll go first if you guys don't mind. Obviously, it's a crazy turnaround from last year. Never could have expected this, and we work well together as a team.
I think I don't want to jinx this, but I think it's probably a perfect senior season for me. It's everything I was hoping for. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of like the same thing. Like,
Here, I'll have you scoot over. There you go. Sorry.
okay, so from last year it was a little rough and made going in this season very hard. But right from the beginning, I could tell like things were going to start connecting. So as the season went through, I think it really built up our confidence, and I don't know. I've been enjoying it a lot.
That's a lot of wins. I mean, to have that kind of season, I mean, obviously you got to be good. You have to connect, but maybe you need some breaks here and there too. I don't know. But one thing I thought was interesting is no mention at all in the Division III state rankings, which I'm thinking, like, what's a team got to do to at least get some recognition there? I mean, how does it make you guys feel?
I'm not really worried about state ranking, to be honest. I mean, it's fair to them because we won 4 games last year. You don't expect us to be good this year. And our beginning season schedule was fairly weak, trying to rebound a little bit from last year. So I think it's relatively fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with him. The state rankings, we haven't played crazy teams.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, we've played good teams. We've lost. We've tied. But we have played teams that we should beat every time.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that. We just haven't really played, we haven't played a team that has been ranked in the state, so we don't know if we really belong in the state rankings or not.
Well, at least your focus is in the right place because obviously you're controlling what you can control, and that's out on the field. So you've to that tune, you've outscored opponents 92-16 with 10 shutouts. Think about those numbers for a minute, and how does that kind of strike you?
Yeah, I can't say I was fully aware of those numbers. That's pretty. That's impressive. I mean, it starts from the back right. I mean, we have solid players in every position. My teammates are there. It's not just 3 people. It's not just 5 people. It's all 11, and then it's all 17. We got 6 solid bench players too.
Do you remember what our goal was for goals?
65.
Yeah, I think
Going into
we
the
make
season.
goals at the
Really?
start of the season.
thought-
That was your goal to score that many?
Mm-hmm.
And outscore it by 30 is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Your thoughts on that when you hear that?
I think it's great. Just I base it off our goals that were before the season. That's why I asked. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. We did not expect this at all.
Yeah, mine's kind of the same way. Beginning of the year, we all, as a team, we come in, we say, these are the goals we want to have. And one of them was, our goals, and it was 65 goals. And when we made it, we were debating if it should even be that high. We kind of wanted it to be a little bit lower than that.
Thought that was a little aggressive then, even?
Yeah. And for us to get 93 right now,
Yeah, 92, 93, something like that. 92, yeah. That's
incredible.
That's insane. Yeah. So your lone loss was 4-2 at Ludington, at home against Ludington, September 25th. They've got a great program, obviously. What are your memories of that game? What do you think? What were we missing in that game, you think?
So we actually went up 1-0 on them, and then we kind of let in a deflection kind of own goal situation. We lost some confidence, some of what we had built up, momentum from the game. Then they got another one, and I think we went down 4. Yeah, we were down 4-1. They kind of got the best of us. They're solid. Kudos to them. That's a good program.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest. After they scored and we lost confidence, it was over from that. When we get down on ourselves, we're not the same team at all. So when we lose confidence like that, it's not good. And they're a great team.
Yeah, it's a good program, yep.
Kind of to go off what Chaz said. When we get down, we have 2 different teams. You have one side where we're chipping at each other, not playing as a team. That's when we can start going bad. But when we're together and unified, that's when we play well. And Ludington, it was just not good. We were chipping at each other. No one was hustling, and it didn't go our way.
To your credit, you bounced back, obviously, because you had a tie earlier, which we'll get to that in a second. And then you had that loss, but then after that, you just kept rolling. And that lone tie was 2-2 against Oakridge, August 30th, and we were just talking off air about Oakridge, a little bit about Arturo.
Yeah.
How many did he score against you guys? Did he get any against you guys or not?
He had one.
Whose job was it to mark him?
It was Deegan's, but I mean, it is a team effort, right?
Right.
You can't blame one guy.
Deegan did a great job on
Yeah.
him. He shut him down for most of the game.
I mean, he's a sophomore. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it was nice.
How would you describe Arturo then as a player?
If I could give it one word, I would say explosive.
Fast, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's on the ball. There was one time where it was just me and him in the open field, and I got him right. Boom, gone. I didn't even have a chance. Yeah, he's explosive.
Yeah. If I could compare him to someone, it would kind of be like watching Kelvin Johnson. There's 2 people on him, and he still gets out of it somehow.
Yeah.
With the ball, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't let him turn on you, but it is almost impossible to stop him from turning on you. So
Yeah. You can't rough him up or anything.
You can try.
you can soccer's a physical sport.
It is. It really is, and people don't give that enough credit, I don't think. But so next up for you guys, a Division III district semifinal against a surging Montague team, which you beat on the road 2-0 on September 27th. That was 2 days after your lone loss. The match against Montague is being played at district host Whitehall, 5:00 Wednesday. Whitehall managed to square off it in the second game with the final set for Saturday. And I know you guys, you take care of business there, then you get there. But I know you guys don't look ahead because you're not 18-1-1. You're not in that business of doing that and then looking ahead, past opponents. So, what are your thoughts on that rematch with Montague?
Someone else want to start?
I'll start. They are a good team, and we need to play the right way to beat them. Mm-hmm. If we don't play our game, we will lose.
What do you think is the right way? How would you define that?
We're hustle. We are not skill. We hustle. We win 50-50 balls. We are hard to it. We don't have these dudes that can just cut up through people, except for probably him. But yeah, we're hustle. So we just need to hustle.
I agree with that. Like, we just can't overlook them. That's one thing that we've been focusing on this week is we've been trying to work on our touch, our passing, but then just we know if we are gonna win a game, we have to win the 50-50 balls. Mm-hmm. And when we don't win them, that's when the games become way too close.
I think Montague is just like a scary team because you look at the roster sheet and it's like, watch that kid. Oh, watch that kid. Watch that kid. They got like 8 guys where you're like, okay, we could mark this guy, but we can't because we can't mark all 8 of them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're deep. That's a good way to put it.
They're definitely a capable team. Yeah, so you just never know any given day.
Exactly.
And you don't know what you're going to get out of them sometimes. But they have been playing well more often than not recently. So, but how are you guys just to get on the field? It's been like, by that time it'll be like a week. Is that like too long of a time, or is that a good little break just to kind of maybe get your legs back under you again? If you want to start this time, T.
Yeah, I think it's perfect because soccer, it's unlike other sports where you have 2, sometimes 3 games a week. So it's pretty hard on the legs. And for a little bit of a break, I think it'll be good for us, the little bit of rest. So we should be going in with pretty much 100%.
Yeah.
I like the break, but at the same time, I think we gain a lot of confidence through previous games. So I mean, if we win one, we keep rolling that week or whatever. But I do like the break, but I think maybe another game in between might have benefited us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree more with Chaz than what T said. No offense to you, T. I'm not a huge fan of the break. I like rolling. I don't like sitting thinking about this for a whole week. Sometimes if you don't play, if you don't touch the ball, your touch gets a little out of sync. Got to rein it back in. A week is longer than it seems.
And what are your thoughts about the district overall? When you saw kind of the draw and saw maybe the potential matchups and all that stuff.
I think our district is ridiculously competitive. All the teams are like, it's very, very similar. Like it is anybody's games. I mean, I don't know. We beat Montague earlier in the season, and then they go and absolutely they wipe Manistee, and the Manistee is a good team. Like everybody's right there. It's up for grabs.
Yeah,
truly. Yeah, it's basically who plays the hardest at this point. It's about who wants it the most. That's all I gotta say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just everyone's way too similar. The team that's gonna win is gonna be the team that showed up that day because it could go to anyone.
So you guys are kind of looking at last year. You guys were 4-15-1, 4 wins, 15 losses, 1 tie, 1-9 in the West Michigan Conference, 10th place out of 11 teams. That was your first year in the West Michigan Conference. So, just simply put, what happened last season?
We were coming from a conference that we had dominated for a couple of years that maybe is not as strong as this one. Probably caught us by surprise. Mm-hmm. It was a bad season last year. Like we said, when we win, we start rolling. When we lose, we start rolling the wrong way. Yeah. That's kind of what happened last year.
Yeah.
Last year was hard for me because as a leader, I was a captain, but I didn't play. I hurt my knee. It was really hard to watch my team. The chemistry was horrible. It's hard for me to help out when I can't play.
Yeah.
So it was a struggle. I tried my best to help, but we lacked leadership. We were juniors. We're not used to being leaders, and we lacked senior leadership. We lacked a lot of stuff that we gained this year.
Mm-hmm. Kind of go off that. So the year before that, our sophomore year, we had our leading goal scorer who left. He had over 30 goals in the season. And did he set the school record?
Almost.
Yeah, so he almost beat the school record. And then we also had a center back who was our captain for, I think, a couple of years at that point. And he was, like, really talkative, and he'd get us going. So we lose both of them. And then having us three as captains as a junior, I think it was just a little bit too early for us. And
moving conferences.
Yeah, and moving conferences.
This conference is a lot tougher than our old one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get some bigger schools and stuff like that, or maybe more soccer oriented in some ways. So
Yeah. I just don't think our team, I don't think, we could handle our team. And then everyone just started giving up almost, and it wasn't good.
So how were you guys able to just kind of, I don't want to say flip the switch because it's never that easy, but when you go from last year to this year, I mean, how much was that sitting with you all off season, and then, that 2022 season, and then what really flipped the switch, do you think, this year?
It's funny that you say flip the switch because our motto this year has been flip the script.
Yeah.
It's on the back of these shirts.
Yeah, so, I mean, off season. I mean, these two play other mains. It's not their main sport, but for me, it is my main sport. So putting in work in the off season, playing with my teammates, they're putting in work in the off season. I mean, it isn't, like you said, it's not just flipping a switch. It doesn't just happen overnight. We got dedicated players on this team.
I think it's more of a fear about having the same thing that happened last year, and how we felt, and how much we were all done with soccer last year by the end of the season, and done with losing, and we did not want to have that feeling again.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a little bit of a combination of both. I know over the summer we had countless guys. I remember me and John, we'd go to the field. Same with Chaz. We'd just go to the field, shoot around for a little bit over the summer, and that's something that we really didn't do the summer before. And then going in to the season, I mean, no one wants to lose 15 games, and a lot of the games were in a row. I think we had 4 wins before September, and we just didn't win another game for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's really hard.
Yeah, it was not good. So we did not want that to happen again this year.
One of those deals where you probably just can't wait for the season to end in a lot of ways, and now you just don't never want to see the season end, right?
Exactly.
And because you're winning, but also just because you're just the chemistry and rhythm that you have with these guys and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm sure. Because you guys were 11-5-4 2 years ago, and then 14-2-2 3 years ago. So, when's the last time Fremont won a district title?
2006. That's a long time.
And it's the only one, too.
Yeah, that's the only boys one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the last time we won our first round?
2019, since we won our first
But
round.
before that, there was a pretty long gap.
So even your 14-2-2 season, that was a good season, but you didn't get out of the first round then
We
either,
didn't
right?
get out of the
That was
first round.
Ludington.
Oh, well, of course, yeah. You guys, because I think you were Division 2 then, maybe?
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
Division 2.
Is this your first year in Division 3?
No, we were Division 3 last
Were
year,
you?
too.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were just horrible.
It does make a difference, though, when you're. I mean, it just depends. There's
Yeah.
great teams in Division 3 as well. Yeah, anytime, if you get put in that district there was a district like Ludington, Reese Puffer, Fruitport. I mean,
Spring Lake.
I mean, that's a really tough district.
That's a gauntlet right there.
Yeah, that's really tough. So, any teammates that you guys would like to give shout outs to, who are guys who are playing really well, maybe whether they're here or not here?
I'll start. I would like Silas. He's my other center back. He is hard to the ball. He's got technique.
What's the name? Silas what?
Silas Rennie.
Okay.
He's got he's got it all basically. He could play any spot on the field. My little brother is the goalkeeper.
Caleb, is it?
Yeah, Caleb. He's solid. Like you said, 10 shutouts. That doesn't just happen on accident. That's not just the defense. That's the goalkeeper as well. And then my 2 wingbacks. Well, actually we rotate 3, but Ian, Carter, and Taylor, they're all solid too.
I'd like to start by saying this kid right here, John Vissia, he's nuts. Without him, we'd be maybe right around where we were last year. And then also Deegan Klimek, he's a sophomore. He's right around 30 goals right now. and he loves the sport. You can really tell.
What about for you?
For me, gonna have to go with a midfielder. So Joey, I think he's really been playing. He's had a great year compared to last year. He's done so much better, and it's been great to play with him.
And then what about anyone else who's maybe not in the starring role, but guys who are really pushing you guys in practice, or any unsung heroes, would you say?
Colson Beitendorp. I don't think he'd be mad at me saying this. He's not the greatest, but he is the funniest person I know, probably. He's up there.
He's hard working too.
He makes it just enjoyable. Say we're having a bad practice, he might just crack a joke, even if it's not the right time. We're laughing.
You need those guys.
Yeah.
And we got a goalkeeping coach that goes to work, and an assistant coach, T's dad actually, that they have jobs and they continue to come out to practice because they know what happened last year, and the sacrifices they make are much appreciated by me and the rest of the boys.
Yeah.
What's the what are like the bus rides or van rides? Or whatever you guys take. What are those like? 'Cause usually those are some of the more entertaining spots.
Yeah, they're pretty relaxed on the way there, and depending on the outcome, if it's a win on the way home, there's some singing, some banter.
Yeah.
I think on the way there, people like to just sleep, listen to music, relax, get locked in. But on the way back, when it doesn't matter what the bus ride is like, we just go nuts sometimes.
Mm-hmm. I think it really depends on the vans or buses because we take both.
Yeah.
I feel like in the vans, like it's more so like you're split into two different groups because it's two vans. So
Yeah.
it's like it's a different type of like talking. Like you're just talking with like your friends kind of. Then when it's like the bus and we're all together, that's when it's the entire team, mostly singing. That's what we do after a win.
Yeah.
So I gotta throw some gas at Killian Pruitt because he was on Instagram saying, "Hey man,
Yeah.
yes,
He's a chirper. He chirps.
No, he's my guy from the Player of the Year from golf. So I met him, and I don't claim to know, but I interviewed him for the story I did on you too.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, are you guys just covering Manu Whiteall or what?" And I go, "Well," I wrote back. I said, "We do have those schools did sign with us to provide certain content like media days and profiles and stuff, but we're trying to jump around and get as many schools covered as possible." We are also trying to develop a student reporter program. So if you guys know anyone at Fremont that wants to get into that, we'd love to have them and give them some training and give them some opportunities, give them a press pass and kind of show them some ways so then we can get you guys more coverage. But
Absolutely. Thank
so
you.
yeah. So get that word out there.
All
But I think we'll take a quick break now and then we'll get into the second half of the segment with Fremont Soccer with John Vissia, Chaz Miller, and T. Ward, Mr. Ward. All right, well, we'll be right back, everybody. And we're back with 3 Fremont soccer captains. Want to kind of give a shout out to David Dusenberry, our first commenter of the night, and he's a loyal follower, watcher of this podcast. He says, 3 nice young men, good luck to them, even though I'm rooting for the other side. So he'll be rooting for the Manu Wildcats. That's okay. Be careful, David, because these guys really get amped up when the other team's cheering against them or chirping or whatever. So the game's obviously going to be at Whitehall, so the crowd, who knows what the crowd's going to be in terms of what mix of fans. Probably it's going to be a mix of maybe the 4 different schools, but it'll be interesting. So just talk about that a little bit first. You guys don't have lights at your field, so you're playing primarily like late afternoon games. What's that environment like compared to maybe going to other schools and playing under the lights?
I like playing under the lights. It's a whole different feeling. It feels more like intense. It's a lot. I like it a lot better.
Yeah, I agree with that. So for me, I sweat a ton. So during the day with the sun beating down on me, it is awful. But at night, when no sun, whole light, it's perfect. I wish we had lights at our field.
Yeah.
Same. Who doesn't like to play under the lights, right? I mean, if we had lights, shoot, people actually might go.
And what are you waiting on, David Walls? Come on, get it going. Let's go.
Exactly.
Literally.
I mean, it's a little late now, but
All right.
Football racking up too much money.
Yeah. Maybe you could go tear up their field.
yeah, but I like playing at other people's lights. I mean, it's a mix up, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I want to get more in, get to know you guys a little bit better. Let's dive into that topic more. So when did you 3 meet each other? Like, what's your first memories of meeting each other? Like, when was that? What were your first impressions, etc.?
Chaz and I have been friends for longer than T and I have been friends. Yeah. T and I, more like high school for me and T, more like elementary school for me and Chaz.
Yeah, he's been like my day one basically.
I think the first time like we've all been together was we played soccer. When was like our first team together? Like 4th grade, maybe?
Probably around then.
Yeah, we played travel soccer from really young until up all together. So
And then 4th grade was the time that like all 3 of us were on the same team. And I think we've been on the same team since.
Now that I think about like our younger teams, it was always we'd have a really good year, and then we'd have a horrible year the next year. It's kind of similar.
So you're
with
following that up, yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of the players on our team, or at least the seniors, we've played together forever.
Yeah.
All of us, Kelly and Jude. Even we played with Caleb. He's a sophomore, but we've played with him forever.
He would always
Reddick,
bump up.
Joey.
Mm-hmm.
I played with Eddie way back in the day. We've all played together forever. So.
Oh, and you got all kinds of personalities, sounds like, and that's what a team's all about. That's what makes it fun, keeps it fresh. But how tight is that bond that you guys all share?
No, I think it's really tight. Well, we've pretty much all throughout high school. I mean, there's been like a couple hiccups, but we've pretty much just been good, like really good friends. Pretty much like a core of 4 or 5 people on the soccer team, and it doesn't matter if it's soccer season or not. We're still hanging out with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have a level of leadership that the players on our team respect us, and we're kind to them. We help them out, so I think we all like each other. I don't think there's anyone on the team that doesn't like another person.
Yeah, and to build on that, last year was very opposite of, like, there was minimal respect, and we probably weren't the greatest leaders last year. And, like, to go on what you said with the friendship, it's a near unbreakable friendship at this point with the team.
I think that's what makes it all work. Kind of leads to the success you're having. But one of the things that Coach Vissia said about you guys was being competitors, not willing to settle. And how would you describe that mentality that you guys have?
I would not be where I am if it was not for these two, because if I had nobody to push myself against, then I would just be boring. I don't even know how to say it, but like if it wasn't for other people that I have a strong bond with, I wouldn't push as hard as I do.
Yeah. He pushed me. I want to mention Killian. My freshman year, I was not going to play soccer, and he told me I joined late. He made me come out, and then I competed with. I've been competing with them forever. Who's the best blah, 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 who hits the best shots, whatever. But I wouldn't be as good as I am without my teammates who push me every day in a competitive way to be better than them, kind of. Like, that sounds bad, but I want to be better than them.
There's that.
Yeah.
You always see that in good teams too, or close groups of friends that are competitive everywhere, not just in soccer and whatever sport you're talking about, but in the classroom everywhere. Yeah. You want to help each other, but you kind of want to be better. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, kind of like same thing. So if we didn't have like the team that we had, and especially Coach Vissia, if I was at another school, I don't know if I'd even be playing soccer right now. I could see myself just 100% focusing on wrestling. But seeing how a lot of my friends are on the team, and then Coach Vissia, I like him a lot, so playing for him is fun. Pretty much, that's the reason I'm still here. Pretty much just my friends, pretty much.
And then John Vissia, what other sports do you play, or is this it for you?
Well, I've played basketball my whole life, and then last year I took a year off, but I'm back.
You coming back?
Basketball season.
Is Chaz pulling you back?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's just because of Chaz. Yeah. So Coach Bowen, if you see this, thank Chaz.
We got the best shooter in the conference back.
Get out of here.
Chaz, point guard.
Yeah.
Actually, point guard. You guys got to the regional last year.
Yeah.
I think it was Unity that you played.
Yeah,
was it?
They were really good.
They're always good. Yeah, that you were playing them there. That's a tough draw, but you're in that spot. But and then obviously UT is a standout wrestler.
Yeah.
Inching ever so closer to that state title. I know that's your goal this year.
It's coming this year.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
So how much does playing other sports help you guys? I know you're coming back to basketball, but how much does playing basketball help for soccer, and then vice versa? How much does wrestling help with soccer? How much does soccer help with wrestling, vice versa?
I find myself doing the same moves I do in basketball, but with my feet. So it's kind of simple. It's just the same thing. It's just a ball you're trying to get past somebody. You do the same things.
Yeah, the court vision and the field vision is very similar, like through balls.
Yeah.
And
back doors.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar.
Yeah, for me, it's not really like that. So pretty much soccer, it kind of like helps build up a lot of like fast twitch muscles almost, like, and especially like wrestling. It's like I'm shooting, I need very like fast twitch, and same thing for soccer. There's a lot of like chopping and going for building up fast twitch. And again, in wrestling, I build up a lot of upper body strength, and in soccer, I don't really use that too much. Maybe like every once in a while, two people are running by each other, and there's a little bit of, I wouldn't really call it like hand fighting, but like trying to like win like inside position almost. That way you can win the ball. But yeah, the one thing is like fast twitch. That really helps me a lot.
I've always thought though, soccer players, I mean, you just non-stop running. I mean, it requires mental toughness either way, whether you're whatever sport. I mean, the people who are mentally tough, those are the ones that are usually finding ways to win, and just knowing to push your limits and all that stuff. But so in terms of college, do you guys have any kind of prospects on the line, or what's that looking like, or what do you want to do after high school?
I want to go into mechanical engineering. Hopefully, find a smaller school that I could play soccer at.
My bad.
Yeah, bro.
I have no clue what I want to do, but I am trying. I after this season, I'll know if I want to continue basketball or not through college. Probably nothing big. I'm not too crazy or anything, but maybe somewhere small.
Yeah, I want to go and wrestle, and then I want to study astronomy. So I'm gonna I'll find the right college.
Yep. Are you hearing from anyone yet?
I don't. Really
trying to keep that on the down low.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, same. I got to keep my offers low here.
That's fine. I get it. You don't want to show your cards yet. Show your hand.
Absolutely not.
I get it. So for each of you guys, who are your role models?
For like sports or
all around, sports and off the field, off the court.
I'll go. This is a little cliche because he's the coach, but it's got to be my dad.
You're just trying to get more playing time. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's a fair point too. There was a time where I wanted to quit soccer, and I was like, "Oh, he probably wants me to play. I'll stay with it." And now, nothing could make me quit soccer. I mean, I'm a passion merchant. I love it. It's so fun. Like, especially with the guys that I'm with the winning. I get to spend time with my dad and my brother. Sometimes I can get a little sketchy, but for the most part, I have been kicked out of practice before.
I was gonna say, how many fights have there been?
There's been a couple
Some.
that we've had to run for.
What happened exactly, or can't you say on this podcast?
Oh, I can definitely say.
Yeah.
So there's a run that we do at the end of practice, or in this case it was the middle of practice because we were goofing off or something like that. And so I had won 17 times in a row, and I lost. And he said to me, "Good job on 17 in a row." And I was like, "Good job on 17 in a row. How come you didn't say that 16 times in a row?" So he caught me at a bad time. We had a little arguing, and last year I got kicked out of practice. This year it's been different. I have not got kicked out of practice yet this year. But yeah, my dad is definitely my role model. I don't know how it got to that, but
That's good.
I would also say John's dad is my role model. He is a great person, and he's really funny, and I like to be around him.
So your dad is Ty, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him playing back in the day.
Yeah. He's
Good point guard. They had some really good Fremont teams then.
Yeah.
How much do you hear about those teams?
Almost every ref of my basketball games, the refs.
Comes up to you and
Every
say,
time. You Ty's kid? Yep. All right, I'm not gonna give you any calls then, or something like that. You don't need calls in, something like that. And I'm not anywhere on the level that he was, so it's whatever. But I hear it a lot. Even the soccer ref, the really tan dude. He was like, "Yeah, I used to play your dad." And I was like, "Who are you?" I don't know you.
Does that get annoying sometimes or not?
Nah, not really. I don't really mind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yourself?
Yeah, I'd probably say my dad, just because I know a lot of times, not really with soccer, but a lot of times with wrestling, I'm having a bad time, and he just pretty much pushes me through, whether it's going to an extra practice and going out and lifting when, I don't know, it's the weekend. I don't really want to be doing anything, but yeah, he pushes me. He definitely pushes me. That's why I'm success. That's why I've done good.
Oh, yeah. No, Tim's a good dude, for sure. Do you guys have a coach yet? Or is that kind of off the record?
I don't know if I'm supposed to.
Okay,
say it.
we won't. I'm not going to put you on the spot. I was talking to Mr. Walls, and I heard that Mr. Zerup can't be back this year. There's some things going on family wise, and I wish the best for them, for their family. Obviously, great guy, great coach, and everything. But obviously, there'll be a new coach coming in, and it'll come out in time. But what do you think of kind of just the structure of Fremont, the school you guys have? Beautiful school, beautiful facilities, especially like the gym. The gym's amazing. Your school's amazing. Maybe you guys get spoiled by it because you don't know anything different since coming up to high school, but what do you guys think about it?
I really like our school. I think it's unique, the pond in the back. I don't know another school that has that around us anyways. I like that about it.
Okay, so like I said before, I sweat a lot. The school has air conditioning, which is incredible. Going from the middle school, where it was hot all the time, and then going to a school that actually has air conditioning and heating that works well, it was incredible, especially winter. During the winter, we can actually stay warm, so it's nice.
yeah, our facilities are nice. Our game field is top notch. Our soccer game field is top notch. There's few places that I'd rather play than our game field. Mm-hmm. Our practice field's a bit dodgy, but nah, it's good. And like you were saying, our gym is super nice. I didn't play basketball last year, but I have before. It's nice to know that you're going to go out there and your game's not going to be affected by some rip in the court or shambles rim. Yeah. Yeah,
there's obviously at Orchard Views is kind of modeled in that similar way. Montague's putting up a new gym that's going to be, I think, modeled after your guys's, from what I understand. Mm-hmm. So you guys have kind of set the tone.
It's a great feeling when there's a full gym and you're playing a basketball game. It's nothing like it.
That's got to be nuts in there when that's full. Yeah. People standing along the track above the balcony. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's got to be. What's been the craziest atmosphere that you guys have been in any sport?
I say when we were in 7th, 8th grade, my brother played on varsity basketball, and there was about 3 home games in a row, and they were all really tight, like buzzer beater games, and the gym was full. On Friday night, crazy, just loud. Everybody, we were middle schoolers, so we didn't sit in the student section. We sat right by the other school student section, and we would score, and we would look at them and just scream, like celebrate like crazy, and it was really fun.
Most wild atmosphere for me, sophomore year in Big Rapids, soccer game. I had just, like, first year on varsity, so I was just getting used to, like, the varsity pace, and I was like, holy cow, these guys are flying around, right? We're on turf. It was the first year of their new facility. And
Really nice, yep.
It was intense. And I almost scored the game winner, but I didn't, with, like, a minute left. But, yeah, the crowd was going crazy. It's crowd intensity.
Big Rapids, the student section is like right behind the goal too.
Yeah.
So you're over there about to score a goal,
Yeah.
and they're all chirping at you, and it's not.
Does it ever make you want to kind of intentionally miss the net just to shut someone up?
Oopsies. Dude.
Ping somebody.
So, in terms of this is kind of along the same line of role models, but I guess what inspires you guys? What really drives you guys?
Somebody else go first. I gotta think.
I want to be great. I want to be the best at everything I do.
You know, that's kind of right. Like, I wouldn't be playing soccer if I didn't want to be good at it. So when I'm out there, I pretty much I want to be the best at it. So it's a little bit different. I want the team to be the best. So I will do my part to help the team go as far as they can.
So I was still thinking. I'm gonna go. What inspires me? I would say the conference inspires me. The district inspires me. The bonding time with the boys inspires me. Just the whole experience, the whole high school experience it's a blast, right?
So what was that like up at Manistee when you guys wrapped it up? And it was 4-0, I think, too, wasn't it?
It was 4-0.
So was it kind of a statement?
Yeah, when we got on the bus, we were full of energy. We were excited to win.
Yeah, I think, weren't we told not to celebrate when we hopped on the bus?
It was better when we found out that Manu, you beat North Mesquite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's when.
Because you guys didn't know yet, or what?
Yeah.
We
didn't know.
won, and we were walking off, and one of the parents or something says, "Hey, North Muskegon lost," and we're just
You're like, what?
like,
Oh,
it's a great feeling to win the conference, even if you're sharing it.
Mhm.
Then
I think that's when we celebrated the most. When
It's
we
even
found
better
out,
when,
yeah, we
that was
found out
incredible.
yeah. So what are you guys, not just soccer, but what are you guys' goals ahead of you? Be it soccer, other sports, academics, etc.
I want to have a great basketball season.
You mean like further along in life, maybe?
Yep, further along life, but even immediate future, or and then beyond.
Yeah. So immediate future. Right now, I'm blinded by soccer, so I would say the Manu game, and then I would say getting a job, getting a degree, starting a
You're
family.
going past basketball season.
Yeah,
buddy.
I'm going a bit too far. Tee you up.
Yeah. So I got wrestling. I need to win the state title. I've come so close too many times. So I think this is gonna be the year. I'm gonna do it. Gonna pull it off and win it. And then also, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there.
So what I'd like to kind of see is, I don't think I'd like to see it like literally, but what if these guys put on singlets and you took them on the wrestling mat? How would that go?
Oh, not him. Chaz, all the time. He says he can beat me. We've
No, I
wrestled.
don't.
He runs away all the time.
I said I could hold my own. I would still lose, but it's like if we played basketball in 1v1, 21-0.
Oh, and that was my next question. What about if he
But-
throws on the basketball uniform
I could
or
probably
just shows up at a practice sometime?
Yeah.
I've
How's it gonna go?
considered throwing the wrestling singlet on for one match. I feel like that would be hilarious, but because I would stand absolutely no chance.
I wanna. So Killian, he's more closer to my body size. I always tell him I wanna wrestle just to see how much of a fight I could put up just once against him. I know I'll lose. I don't care if I lose. I just want to see.
What about a tag team match? How about, like, you guys can make the teams if you want. Like, what would be a fair matchup? I mean, you can include Myers in that mix if you want.
Oh, I got him. We had a fight club once, a couple years
I
ago.
forgot about this. This is crazy.
At,
Is this going to get you in trouble or not?
no,
No.
Okay.
We had gloves. It was after school at the rec center or whatever.
Yeah.
And we have this friend. His name's Kyle. He was huge. He lost a lot of weight recently. He was huge. He was like 240.
Yeah.
He's like 190 now. He lost a lot of weight and he's shredded. But T boxed him and
I was small.
he has a bloody nose. Kyle, he goes, time out, in the middle of the fight. And we're like, what's going on? And I boxed Killian. I didn't know the rules, so I got some disqualification points. But
So speaking of huge, sounds like, John, you might have been on the larger side when you were younger.
Yes, I was actually. The boys.
You brought that up. I wouldn't have.
No,
I'm not
got
trying
you.
to make you feel bad, but you brought it up off air.
I did bring that up. I think it's funny because I wasn't even that big.
No, he was pretty. No.
There was how are you winning all the runs now? You used to be huge.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
I was
you just
big.
had to thin out and
I was bigger, yeah.
grow into. I don't want to say grow into your body because maybe it went the other way.
It
You
used to be
stretched out,
everybody's running, and then
yeah.
here I am
Yeah.
pulling up
We
the
used to
rear.
and
run.
now it's the other way around. Is he leading
yeah,
the
no,
sprints?
he wins. Yeah, we used to run full field sprints. That was our conditioning way back, and we'd all finish, and we're all just waiting for John. Come on, John, you got it, John. Let's go.
It would feel like a minute
Yeah.
almost, and then pretty much he'd get there, and we'd start up our run.
Yeah.
And then John is just sitting there panting.
I'm gonna change my answer from the other one. That's my inspiration.
I was going to say though,
Little John.
there's got to be a little bit of truth there. How much did that kind of deep down motivate you? Like, I'm never again. This
Yeah.
isn't happening again.
It did. It was a motivator. I mean, there was one summer where I would put cones up and just dribble,
Yep.
and run. And that was like my freshman year. I started running, and I slimmed out a little bit.
Our coach gives us like off-season workouts to do a couple months before the season starts. Nobody does them except for him. He does them.
He's the only
And
one.
even since freshman year, he's gotten slimmer and taller. So
No, it's not where you start; it's where you finish. So,
yeah,
Absolutely.
so who are your toughest opponents in your given sports? Obviously, you're playing soccer. You play soccer, basketball. You soccer, wrestling. So, who wants to go first?
I always go first. Somebody else go.
it's Ludington. They have dominated us in everything for years, for every sport. And then for me, basketball at Whitehall, they're really good. Camden, he's nuts. I played with a couple of them over the summer. Kamar,
No.
practiced with Camden, DJ.
Did you see Kamar's dunk at the Macker?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw him dunk on somebody. We played AAU together, so that was pretty nuts.
Yeah.
But I love them boys.
You guys probably weren't at the football game Friday, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh, you were there.
Yeah,
I know
went.
because it was just cold, rainy, just not great.
There was like 5 people there. 3 of them are here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are loyal supporters.
Oh, we are.
Passion.
That's great. That's awesome. I mean,
Yep.
I'm not kidding. That's awesome to see when you support your classmates like that. But what about for you? Who are your toughest opponents?
Me, I'd probably have to go with Whitehall too. Whitehall, I mean, wrestling. Their wrestling team.
They got the
is
zero
really
ups,
good.
obviously.
Yeah,
Craig's son's there.
and then even in soccer, Whitehall's been like a pretty big rival for us. Yeah, even though most of the time we haven't won. I think
You guys got him though this year.
we did get them this year.
We got them once.
Yep. You?
I play soccer, so Ludington, obviously, they beat us this year.
Any individuals that are really tough to handle?
For sure. Obviously, Arturo,
Big Rapids.
Big Rapids, Parker from Ludington, he's a good player. I would
Parker
say.
went, yeah.
Yeah, A-Big is a good player. Hernandez is a good player.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the list goes on and on, right? From Whitehall, you got Judd and Mullinex.
Yeah,
or what's it?
Yeah, Mason.
They call him
Mullinex.
Moose.
Yeah, he's a good player.
The professor.
Who, Mason?
Nah, they have another dude. They call him the professor. They got nicknames.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had nicknames
Yeah,
like
me
that.
too.
Those are
You guys, it's not too late.
They,
You can do those,
he
yeah.
was-
Yeah.
They were. He goes, Professor, you got 2. And I was like, no, the professor.
So for you in basketball, you mentioned Ludington.
Yeah, Schillinger.
Schillinger's got to be he's a tough matchup.
I love playing him though.
Yeah. Brings out the best in you.
Yeah, for sure.
So you were talking about having some big games in the gym too at Fremont. I remember covering some games there when I was at M Live, when regionals or something like Grand Rapids Catholic and I think I don't know if it was South Christian was maybe there.
I remember that.
Those were some pretty insane atmospheres too.
Yeah, for sure.
So we got a few minutes left. Let's change the topic real quick to Coach John Vissia, a guy that God dang it, Steve. I'm looking at John and saying, Coach John Vissia, I guess you want to take over as coach or take over the podcast since you know more what you're talking about than I do.
He does
apparently.
he does have a lot of ball knowledge.
So maybe he's got some podcast knowledge on how to host one too. So Steve Vissia, my apologies. So you know the man a little bit.
I do.
How would you describe him and his coaching style?
Coaching style, patient. I mean, he's given a bunch of farm boys that have no touch and no skill, and he puts together a team. I mean, I know he's my dad, but to go from 4 wins to 18 in one season is absolutely nuts, and it's not just us.
No, I'm sure it's a combination of things for sure.
Yeah, so to coach that up or whatever, that's ridiculous. And so I use patient. I'm gonna think of another word. I would say that
We can skip
I use
around.
passion so much.
Yeah.
He's funny.
What's
Yeah,
your
it's
favorite
funny.
Steve Vissia story?
It's got to be one in the classroom. He's my favorite teacher of high school. He teaches U.S. history. He always does this thing when there's something stupid that happens or someone says something stupid, and he just ignores it and he goes like, "Oh," and it sounds stupid, but it's hilarious when he does it, and he has a lot of funny like aneurysms. I don't know if that's a word or not. Mannerism.
Hey,
That's it.
don't let my poor performance on this podcast
Mannerism.
influence you either. So
Mannerism.
it's all right. You got it.
I know he's very passionate. Like he's a very big Christian, and I feel like that's how so we have like team bondings where once a week we all come together and he'll just preach about God and he'll bring us all closer to him, and then that's how he bases his life. He goes God first, and then he'll follow what Jesus wants him to do. So I'm sure that's why he's playing soccer. That's probably why he continued with us. He probably knew that he had to stay in another year.
It's like a platform almost. Yep.
You can tell that he bases his life around Christianity. You can tell when you talk to him.
Then why is he like the way he is then?
Yeah, I'm pretty
I'm
real.
just kidding. I'm just playing around.
Nah, it's like-
Is the father coach thing, you hear that a lot, where they're really tougher on their own kids than they are the other players. Do you guys see that? 'Cause
Yes.
that's usually the case. I know you might see that.
Yeah.
Probably would see that. But because a lot of times you get parents, other people, outsiders say, oh, he's just playing because his dad's coach. Usually it's the opposite of that. Usually that's the kid that's working the hardest. That's the one that's getting the most, I don't want to say criticism, but getting coached the hardest.
I'd say.
They've gotten in some arguments that he would not argue with a different player. It's obviously because it's his son. So
Same thing with John, though. John wouldn't argue with another coach like that.
yeah, no.
Yeah, sometimes I don't back down. It's in the end it's a good time though. He may have higher standards for me, but I can appreciate that too because I want to have high standards for my sons or son, however many I have.
What if you have
You have a
daughters?
son. Yeah.
Oh, I'll have high standards for my daughters too,
Okay.
or daughter.
Any other thoughts from you guys before we sign off on this podcast? We got maybe a minute and a half left. Any other thoughts? I always bring this up to Fremont because they got so many more food options than almost everybody else. I always throw shout outs to that. People think I'm getting paid by them or something. But what's your go-to spot there in Fremont?
My house. I'm not a fan of the fast food in Fremont. It's
No.
overhyped.
A lot of times after games, we'll go to the Blind Squirrel. It's like
That's
a
true.
tavern bar. It's got good food.
We don't go to the bar. We go
Yeah, we don't
To
go
the
bar.
restaurant
to the
side,
grill.
right?
To the grill.
To the
yeah,
grill.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm 17. So
I thought we were opening up a whole nother topic here. But
Also, what is it? Local burrito. What is it
Oh,
called?
yeah.
It's called something
It's
different.
El
right?
Burrito.
Yeah,
now.
El
Yeah,
Burrito.
El Burrito.
Phillies.
What do you get?
Taco Tuesday. I only go in on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
You
cheaper.
get $1.50 tacos. Get like 5, anywhere from 5 to 10 of them.
So you're gonna be there tomorrow or not? Before the game, day before the game or not?
We have team bonding,
Okay.
so
Otherwise, I would be. I'm always up for food.
It's true.
old John talking.
We're probably going to Clover's after this. He might
Yeah, we're
order,
definitely stopping.
He might order
Going to
the
Culver's?
Yeah,
entire
I'm not
menu.
gonna make it home.
I mean, Whitehall's got some okay options, but Fremont's got them beat. Ludington might have you guys beat though.
They got
Is it-
Spankies too,
Ludington.
don't they?
They do. They've
Yeah.
got that, and I mean, they're just a little bit bigger town too.
Yeah.
I mean, Fremont's not small, but not as far as compared to West Michigan Conference schools. But any other thoughts, guys?
Yeah, thank you for having us. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
I'm glad you guys can make the trip over, and we wanted to showcase you guys and
Thank you.
congratulate you on such a great season. And hopefully, you guys can keep it going. Before we sign off, let's give one more thank you to our sponsors. That's Big Stone Therapies, Rescue 2.0 LLC, Grieve Law, Edward Jones with financial advisor Brett Atkins, Coldwell Banker Woodland Schmidt with David Dusenberry, who was a commenter on the show tonight, Farm Bureau Insurance, the Kenny Agency, 5-Star Real Estate Leaders with Matt Parker, The Birdhouse, Scheid Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, Greener's Realty with Chris Dykeman and Sarah Reel, and then, of course, our title sponsor, Chris Wank Real Estate of Coldwell Banker Woodland Schmidt. Again, thank you so much, Fremont soccer captains. We got John Vissia, Chaz Miller, and T. Ward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
very
welcome.
much.
Thanks for being on, guys. I'm Scott DeCamp, host of this, and best of luck to these guys. They play Wednesday at 5 o'clock against Manu over at Whitehall, and then right after that, it's Whitehall Manistee. Winners of those two games play Saturday for the Division III district title. So best wishes to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.